We now move to Colonel Youssef Haydar from the Lebanese Armed Forces.
I'm Colonel Youssef Haydar, the commander of the Independent Works Regiment in the Lebanese Armed Forces. First, I would like to congratulate the Blue Shield for the 25th anniversary, and thank you, Professor Peter, for allowing us to participate in this valuable meeting. Thank you. Now I will leave the floor for the presentation, and if any question pop up, I'll be ready to answer. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Colonel Youssef Haydar, the Independent Works Regiment Commander in the LAF, the Lebanese Armed Forces. First, I would like to congratulate the Blue Shield International for their 25th anniversary and wish you all the best. And I will seize this opportunity to thank you for allowing us to participate in this conference. My presentation will be as such. We'll talk a little bit about the regiment in itself, its mission, vision, capabilities. We're talking about the Beirut Harbor Blast and the CP capability, the beginning, protecting the MOFA, and the CPP training. This is the organizational chart. We have the company level, we have the special excavation level, the manufacturing level, 5 works company, heavy equipment company, and command and support. Our mission is executing civil engineering works of all kinds and carrying on special excavation above and underground, tunnels, warehouses, shelters, issued by the Army Command Headquarters, and we mean by that the J4. Inspecting the work. To do so, we have to inspect the work site, identify the required works and materials, and procurement and executing. Our vision is to enhance efficiency through using in-house cost-effective products to fulfill LAF units' need for different type of facilities. We aim to create the CPP capability within the Regiment Task Force Unit to protect cultural heritage spread over the country during emergency. As you see, this is our area of operation. The companies are deployed all over the country, and the other 3 companies backing up the other. This is some products we do in the regiment, we manufacture in the regiment. We have the ordinary bricks, the fair face bricks, the elevation stones, the tiles, and many more. We work with wood, iron, glass, aluminum, and we manufacture all type of paints. Construction of modular structure, such as blocks, T-walls, and modular warehouses. The wood construction technique, we gained this from working with the CBs, US Navy. The HESCO basket technique, we use it as anti-flood, shooting houses, and FOBs. The massive destruction of the harbor of the 4th of August at 1807. We started this mission from the beginning until November 4. It's 90 days of non-stop working in the harbor region. 1 hour after the blast, we entered to open the pass for the medevac and the firefighters. 48 hours after the blast, the northern part of the port, the less damaged, was functional again. We contribute also in firefighting. And we worked hand in hand with Allied troops inside the port and outside the port. We worked with the GT Von 2 for 33 days, the Shadri Task Force, 25 days, 21 days with the UNIFIL, and with the CBs for 15 days. We worked with the NGOs also, cleaning the streets outside the port. Outside the harbor, this is the result. The historical walls and the historical houses, this is where we first encountered this is where we first faced something called cultural property. Inside the harbor we cleared, this is the outcome. the construction of 19 hangars, 10,000 square meter each, as you see in the photo. All this was dismantled and stacked in the metal zone and the rubbles in the other zone. This is the photo that shows before and after. The CPP capability at the beginning. It all started at the MOFA, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. This is where we had this idea in collaboration with the UNIFIL to enter the MOFA for the second time, because in the first time we first entered to create a secure pass to just to take out the files and deliver it to the authorities. We didn't have any awareness of the cultural property at this time. The idea for the stage 2 and the idea of the UNIFIL and the NGO Biladi with the collaboration of the Blue Shield, of course, we started protecting the heritage building. This did the first seminar on site, the first workshop on site. These are some photos that show the danger we were encountering and the risk we were taking just to preserve the roof of the MOFA. Some construction details, all stacked and organized, as you can see. Why CPP capability and not CPP unit? The reason why is to create a unit inside the Lebanese armed forces that only its job description to protect the CPP, the cultural property all over the country is really a big project, and I don't think that, and I'm pretty sure that there won't be authorization for that because of the shortage in the personnel we have, and to create a unit in itself requires a lot of paperwork and authorization and stuff like that. So we had this idea to have the regiment as a CPP unit, and within its unit we will create a task force, an operational task force to intervene anywhere in the country, as you will see on the next slide. Our responsibility is only during the response, when we activate the response plan, not before that and not after, and during the follow-through, the training and the review and to update the disaster plan and stuff like that. That's what we're doing right now. All that has to do before and after the crisis in itself or the disaster in itself, it's the responsibility of the DGA. This is an expanded organizational chart, so you can see how we are connected inside the lab. This is the Army Chief, this is the Regiment Commander. We're lying underneath the J4, the G4 when in peacetime and the G3 during the disaster. This will give us agility and efficiency and fast response. As you can see, the CPP capabilities throughout all the companies, the frontliners, as we can see. And once we have any emergency, we will activate the operational task force and we will intervene anywhere in the country very fast, because we're really deployed in all over the country. So this is the idea we're implementing in the lab, and it's based on experience, because we already did it in the MOFA and it was good and it was efficient. So this is what we're working on. During 2021, with the program Josiah 21, we started the first training sessions at the Blue Radisson Hotel in Beirut in collaboration with the DGA and the Blue Shield International, Blue Shield Lebanon, and it was organized by the Biladi NGO. This was continued with visits to the museums. After that, we passed to the emergency response training on sites, actually 4 sites, Byblos, Baalbek, Tripoli, and Saida. And it was organized by the Biladi NGO and in collaboration with the Smithsonian and the Prince Claus. And we had on board the Red Cross, the Civil Defense, and the DGA. The end state of this training was to elaborate a response plan for every site according to the scenarios we were organizing there. At the end, I would like to thank Biladi, NGO, the Blue Shield International, the Blue Shield Lebanon, the Smithsonian Institute, the Prince Claus, the GGA, for the training we had this past year, and we're looking forward for further training. And I'm ready for any question. Thank you.
Youssef, thank you very much indeed for that presentation. I hope you can hang on for another 15 minutes or so for questions, because we've got one of the groups that you have been working with talking next before we go to the questions, if that's okay.
You got it, Peter, no problem.
Thank you very much. Excellent. What I will do, just though, before Corey Wegener from the Smithsonian speaks, in that presentation, Youssef was talking about G4 and J4 and J3, and those are military designations for different parts of the military process and activity. So J4 is logistics and engineers, J3 is operations. And I find, and I'm sure this will come out in a little bit of the discussion, the response from Lebanon absolutely fascinating, because most other parts of the world who have started developing CPP units have put them with what's usually called J9 or G9, which is civilian military cooperation. But in Lebanon, with that real hands-on experience, taking it to the Independent Work Regiment, I remember sitting with Youssef in Beirut and him saying he really didn't think that the Lebanese army was going to be able to set up a CPP unit. And so I looked very sad, and he smiled and said, but we are going to set up a capability, and that capability is the whole of my regiment, and that's over 1,000 men. So that was probably catapulting the Lebanese military into one of the largest CPP capabilities in the world. So I'm sure we'll come back to that, but just as a bit of clarity.